All right, folks, it's Friday. Gold just printed a God candle seeking that new all-time high once again. We're going to talk about the Fed examining XRP and its role for CBDCs. And of course, yes, I do have David Schwartz Simpson character on my shirt. Check it out. Now, huge shout out to my man Chris, who made me this shirt and sent it to me. I've been trying to convince him to make an online web store and start selling some of his work, but it is not available currently. This is custom made. Huge shout out to Chris, but I do have a couple other affiliates for merch at my website. Crypto Gear is the tab that you'll find at ZachRector.com if you are looking to get tapped in over there. All of our community resources are at ZachRector.com. Now, without further ado, let's get right on into the charts, guys. We're moving quickly. Hope everyone's having a great Friday so far. Back up to 39,000 for your Bitcoin. Cooling back off here slightly within the 4-hour candle right here, but a massive print back up to about 39,000 for Ethereum. Back up to about 2,100, watching this thing. And XRP only up to about 61 and a quarter, 61 cents or so. So not much action for XRP. XLM, kind of the same thing, both moving sideways. Massive red candle for the DXY after Jerome Powell's comments this morning. We're going to get into that. The 2-year took a dip, and so did the 10-year back down. Oil basically moving sideways here after we did a little bit of a climb over the last couple days here. You're seeing that we did sell off back down to about 81. So we'll be watching that one. And silver back up to 25 bucks. This is the action we have been waiting for, folks. 25.5 for your silver. Absolutely love to see it. And gold printing a God candle. Maybe that's why we call it God's money. Starting a new 4-hour candle right now. We'll be watching this one at $2,067 per ounce. Gold absolutely ripping. Now, the other thing is that we see the stock market back up here today, even after Jerome Powell's statements that we can't be premature with trying to cut rates, trying to ease this thing as inflation is still very strong, but the markets do not care. And so we saw NVIDIA did climb back up here slightly today. We saw a big bump, though, in the S&P 500, Dow Jones, some green candles coming in, and the NASDAQ as well. Now, the overall cryptocurrency market cap back up to 1.42 trillion. Very good to see. And the Bitcoin dominance continues to remain strong. Okay, so we'll be watching that one. What's Coinbase at? Coinbase back up to 133. Coinbase has done a really good rally as of late with everything that happened there with Binance. Coinbase taking advantage of that. Amazon back up today as well. But let's get right on into it, folks. So we're looking at this one. Dow up 175 points to 22-month high after Fed Powell says it's too soon to talk about rate cuts. So he's warning it's too soon. It's premature to think that we have this thing under control, but the market does not care and continues to rally. Now we take a look here. Kobesi letter, the S&P 500 is now traded with a daily RSI at above 70 since November 20th. That's 10 consecutive trading days, making it the longest streak of 70-plus daily RSI readings since 2019. Over the last 5 weeks alone, the S&P 500 is up a massive 12%. Even as Fed Chair Jerome Powell today said that the rate cut talks are premature, the S&P 500 jumped to a 5-month high. This may be the most resilient market of all time, or I would argue it might be the most delusional market of all time. They have the blinders on, the bulls, right? They got the blinders on. They are raging full steam ahead. I'm not going to try to stand in their way. I'm not going to try to trip them up. I'll let them run off the cliff to their own demise, right? But in the meantime, the market is rallying. NASDAQ just printed its largest monthly candle since the peak of 2022. And so a lot of folks are looking at the stocks and they're thinking, okay, we're about to run up and go set a new all-time high here once again. And that is potential in the cards 100%. I'm not going to stand in the way of that momentum. I'm just not going to be, caught up in that race that is going to be running out of steam here shortly. And that's because no one wants to actually listen to what the Fed is saying. They're not going to come in and cut rates in a massive way next year unless we get Black Swan. But if we get Black Swan, then we're all bleeding out in the streets. Now, another article here from Bloomberg I wanted to share with you guys. This is the real economy. This is Main Street. Americans are finally turning frugal after splurging over summer. So this article here gives us the government data. Retailer warnings indicate consumer pullback. Further labor market cooling may put more pressure on spending. As we covered yesterday, the unemployment data, unemployment claims back above 1.9 million, a level that we haven't seen since November of 2021. So very worrisome when you actually look at the details of these data points. But as I said, the bulls don't care. They just read the headlines. They cherry pick the good things that Powell has to say or what the Fed is talking about, and they dismiss the narratives and the statements that don't fit being bullish, right? So that's fine. That's their own deal. And the thing is the growth that we've seen, a lot of it's coming from government spending. As the GDP, 5.5% of it was government spending, and the GDP comes in at 5.2%. So if it wasn't for government spending, we actually would have contracted in Q3 of this year. Construction spending climbs again, fueled by commercial investment and public work. So once again, residential housing is lagging, but there's plenty of money getting poured into public work, government projects, and commercial buildings. And I would speculate that a lot of the commercial buildings that they're putting up would be ones that they've already locked in maybe some cheaper financing. And so they're just going to complete these out. This is why we have the most amount of residential construction in the history of the United States happening right now, especially for apartments. And so that's all getting completed. But after that, the pipeline for a lot of these mortgage lenders, a lot of the commercial mortgage-backed securities you're seeing are set to reset. And that's going to be a problem, along with the additional inventory coming online, going to be a problem. And speaking of inventory coming online, we bring it into the residential market, and Nick Gurley shares this one with us. Inventory in Florida's housing market is spiking. Investors are starting to sell while the pandemic boom in buyers is subsiding. Signal that home prices in Florida could be dropping soon. And when you look in some of these markets, it is already a bloodbath, and that would be Bellevue, Washington, which is part of Seattle Metro. And this market has been just ripping, home selling for millions of dollars, but you're starting to see the pullback is already here. A home that sold for $2.7 million last year went pending for $2.1 million. That's a 22% drop in value in a little over a year. I'm not someone that doesn't think it's going to be a widespread housing crash, but shocking to describe this would be putting it mild for this specific market. And this is what we have to do, is we have to look at market by market, segment by segment of real estate. Residential, much different from commercial. Storage units, much different from apartments. So you have to break it down market by market, segment by segment. And some segments, some markets are already getting sacrificed. The reset is here, an opportunity for us to take advantage of. Let's get into the crypto update. Stuart Alderati says, when they roll the credits to the movie, I hope they show this picture. And this is going to be Chief Legal Officer from Coinbase, Paul Grewal. Craig Salm, Chief Legal Officer at Grayscale, and of course, the Chief Legal Officer at Ripple, Stuart Alderati, speaking at Policy Summit, leading the way as always. And the good guys and gals are starting to win. That's the good news. And we are going to get some price action coming here shortly. I know you guys are frustrated. Remain patient, remain calm, and understand that we are in the right spot and it is happening. This is happening. Hasn't been reflected in price action yet, but take a closer look with me right now. Ripple running trials with NASDAQ. Now, I asked ISO 222, let's do it. This is Ro Heepku. I asked him for the source video on this because I want to get a little bit more context on this, but I'm going to play this clip where he says that NASDAQ is working and doing a trial with Ripple, and I want you to listen in on him talking about an IOU exchange, which is exactly what the XRP ledger is. A DEX built into it. All of the tokens on the XRP ledger are the IOUs. They are the issued assets. Take a listen in on this one.
And, this guy sells it to that guy. That's essentially, what the stock exchange does. So if you can have a common ledger to be able to exchange those IOUs at, then that certainly makes sense. And there's examples of Korean banks partnering with local, Bitcoin companies for the settlement. People like the IMF or World Bank or these kind of people are always talking about these sort of blockchain settlement systems. NASDAQ is involved in I think, doing some trials with Ripple as well. So, this guy sells it to that guy. That's essentially, what.
Oh, really? You don't say. And this is the thing, guys. We've been talking about the ETFs coming here in the United States. They're on the way. They are inevitable, but they're already going live in the Eurozone right now. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So huge shout out to Rahiku for finding this one as well. Upcoming XRP exchange traded product listed on Deutsche Börse Group, regulated trading venue for crypto, coming in Q1 2024. So we've already shown you guys, there's already a few that are live in Europe right now. There's another one that was going live right at the beginning of December. And it looks like this one with Deutsche Börse Group is going to be coming in Q1 of 2024. So the ETFs are coming. Exchange traded product is the same thing. And when you look at what happened to gold and silver, the underlying assets of these ETFs, gold went up 5 times, 500%. Silver went up 10 times, 1,000% from 2003 to 2011. And now you're seeing here gold and silver breaking out once again. Gold eyeing that new all-time high. Absolutely love to see it. Links for precious metals are at my website, zachrector.com. Now, Johnny Crypto, huge shout out to Johnny, co-host of the Good Morning Crypto Show. And I actually did just, we did have an exchange with Johnny and the Good Morning Crypto Show. I think I am going to be making an appearance on the Good Morning Crypto Show coming up soon. So huge shout out to that team. Got to meet Johnny, got to meet Coach JV in Vegas. And I really respect what those guys got going on over there. He shares this one with us. You will want to read XRP mentioned 111 times in the Federal Reserve 584-page document investigating CBDCs. Is this the XRP smoking gun everyone is waiting for, as XRP being the chosen one? There's arguments both for and against XRP being a good choice for the future rails of money, but the fact that it was mentioned 111 times means it's truly being considered by the Federal Reserve. That's it. That's just it. It is not something that is being, denied. It's not something that's being dismissed, ignored. Now, in the public space, it is being ignored, right? You're not hearing the Fed come out and admit that they're looking over XRP. But when we look at their white papers, when we read their documents from the Fed, from the IMF, from the BIS, we can see that it's definitely been considered. It's definitely been looked over. And Brad most likely has been in the room with them. We actually know he has. Ben Bernanke, the former Fed chair, actually spoke at Ripple's Swell Conference. So if you want a direct tie to the Federal Reserve, there you have it. If you want a direct tie to the Treasury Department, well, we have the 43rd Treasury of the United States on our board of directors. So there you go. And when we take a look at this document right here, take a look, folks. So this is from Coinpedia, and we're going to see Ripple's news. Federal Reserve examines XRP's role in CBDCs. The Federal Reserve is considering the role of XRP in shaping CBDCs. There is a lively debate about whether or not the U.S. should have a CBDC and what role XRP could play. Ripple is making significant financial moves, such as the acquisition of Medico and partnership with MasterCard. So the deals are getting done. MasterCard speaking at Ripple's Swell Conference this past November. Big deal there with the acquisition of Medico, institutional grade custody. We are getting all of our ducks in a row, and we are allowing the Federal Reserve and the central banks around the world to take a look over this thing, right? So the latest talk of the town is that a public questionnaire with 22 inquiries has surfaced aimed at demystifying CBDC adoption. The questionnaire explores risks, advantages, privacy concerns, and other critical aspects linked to a central bank digital currency. In this maze of discussions, XRP, Ripple, and the XRP Ledger emerge as key players, with respondents sharing diverse perspectives on the risks, benefits, and operational details of digital currencies like XRP. Well, here's the bottom line. CBDCs are inevitable. They're already live in some other countries. Ripple has already partnered up with 10 central banks that we know of. They've announced 6 partnerships that have already gone live. One of those includes Palau, which is not a partnership with the central bank. It's just a partnership with the government of Palau. And they chose to launch their stablecoin on the mainnet XRPL, where we could all watch the transactions. It was really incredible to see. And with the other central bank digital currency projects, they are on the private ledger for CBDCs that Ripple created. This is what they need. When they're talking about CBDCs, the role that XRP could play, they're looking at this thing and the ability to be on the private layer, but have that interoperability with mainnet XRPL. So critical, so key. And as Ripple reported just a few years ago, right, they could help you launch a CBDC on the XRP ledger in one day. They've already built out the toolkit to make this seamless. So Ripple can onboard banks or institutions and even central banks in hours. CBDC rolled out in one day. So they have the toolkit ready to go. And the debate here that we need to have in the United States is whether or not we should have a central bank digital currency. Sure, I think that we take it even to the point of, debating, do we even need to have a central bank? And maybe we should talk about the damages that the central bank has caused towards this country as well. But regardless, is Ripple a key player sitting down at the table? And is the XRP ledger perfectly fit to create that common unified ledger to exchange IOUs in any form of value? Absolutely. And that's the key part here. You're seeing that no other cryptocurrency projects are even getting in the conversation, let alone showing up and getting a deal done and getting the token actually adopted and used. And so that's what I'm excited to see. We just covered 500 partnerships with Ripple, Bank of America included, Federal Reserve taking a look at XRP, no surprise there, and many deals behind the scenes that are starting to get unveiled on a daily basis. Price action hasn't reflected that. Remain patient, understand what is coming. We enter another bull run here right now. XRP is ready to lead the way. Ripple ready to be the darling of Wall Street as they get ready to IPO as well. Very important opportunity. And I'm not here to tell anybody what to do, but you guys already know what I've been doing. Stacking my silver, stuffing some cash off to the side for a rainy day. And so that I can buy more of these assets if we do get Black Swan, if we do get simulation event, if they want to bring us back down. Give me 30 cent XRP again. 3 for 1? Are you kidding me? Even the 2 for 1 deal at 50 cent. Thank you very much. We'll take that. How about the 10 for 1 deal for Stellar? Send Stellar back down to 10 cents. It would be an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much. But it does appear that we are starting to break out. The bulls are back in control, as I reported on the live show last night, and as we see here in the charts here today. So I'm not going to stand in the way. I got my bags packed. I'm ready to ride the rocket ship with them, and let's see how far we go. It's going to get bumpy along the way, so hang in there, remain patient, and keep your eyes on the prize. With that being said, guys, tomorrow, Saturday, every Saturday, we have our Discord weekly call. If you're looking to get tapped in, you want to ask me questions, get in touch with our community. That is over at my website, zachrector.com. You sign up through Patreon to get access to Discord and take advantage of the special that we're running now through the end of the year. When you sign up for 1-year membership of Patreon, you save 13% off your membership fees and talk to your accountant about writing off that cost as well. I will see you guys in the next one on the way out. If you could smash that thumbs up for me, I'd greatly appreciate that. And we'll be dropping some more content later here today. So make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our updates. God bless you all.